shofar, now we give some tzedakah, and let's listen to a Dvar Torah. We know of Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, as our Redeemer, a leader par excellence, the one who took us out of Egypt, the one who made all those miracles for us. And Moshe Rabbeinu, let's call it in the simplistic term, the caterer. He provided food for us. Moshe Rabbeinu was also bartender. He provided drinks for us. He took care of our clothing. He took care of everything. We know Moshe Rabbeinu being the most humble individual. But do we realize that Moshe Rabbeinu was also the greatest prophet of all times? And probably the most important prophecy that he prophesied is a prophecy which is in the parsha, in the Torah portion of this week. And it says the following. In chapter 30, on the third verse, he says the following. V'shav Hashem Elokecha es shavuscha v'richamecha. God will return all the returnees, and he will have compassion on us. V'shav v'kibetzcha mikol ha'amim, will gather us from all amongst all the nations. Asher efitzcha Hashem Elokecha shama, where God has dispersed us. So Moshe Rabbeinu gives us here a clear, unequivocal prophecy. He's not talking then about the time of in Egypt, because at that time we were not dispersed. At that time we were all in the desert together. And we knew that Moshe Rabbeinu won't take us in. It will be Yeshua who will take us in. Moshe Rabbeinu is talking about the time of Mashiach. At the end of days. He's talking about today actually. Where Jews will be dispersed in the entire world, and sometimes I'm amazed where we find Jews. Oh, where don't you find Jews? And Moshe Rabbeinu prophesies, yes, the time will come, of the time of redemption, that the redemption will come, and God will ingather all the Jewish people. Now let's just stop for a moment. And what about during time of exile? Where is God vis-a-vis us during time of exile? Now, I think we don't have to look far. He's with us right here. Can anyone logically explain how it is that a handful of people, we were never great in numbers, have survived all kinds of challenges, all kinds of holocausts? Inquisition, as an example, just one of them. Expulsions from anywhere we were, just a matter of depending on what time in history. No land, no place. Persecuted continuously, and we're still around. Not only are we around, but we always float above. Now the only explanation there is for this is because God is protecting us. You know what? Even Nasrallah Yemach Shemo V'Zichro, one of our wonderful enemies, said it clearly, that he knows that all those missiles that he's sending towards Israel, God is protecting us. He shoots very well. He knows how to shoot. They are very accurate missiles and bombs, etc. It's just that God is diverting it. Our friends, so-called friends, who depend on our technology, even for their protection, they're buying today the most sophisticated Israeli protective equipment, yet at the same time, they're supporting the Palestinian terrorists and giving them money for what? To be able to kill us. So that's the irony of it. But what's happening is, we're around because miraculously God is with us. So this is in the time of exile. But here's an interesting observation in the word. The pasuk says, "V'shav Hashem Elokecha." He will return whom? It should have said, "V'heishiv Hashem Elokecha." And God will bring you back. V'shav is a kind of that He will return. And indeed, So Rashi points out that indeed, during the time of exile, God is in exile himself. He's joined us in exile. Like a good loving father that doesn't let his child alone go away in exile, he goes along with him. Medrash tells us that God said, since my temple has been destroyed, since the Beis Hamikdash has been destroyed, God says, I haven't sat on my throne. In other words, I'm also in exile. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, V'shav Hashem Elokecha, God will return with us. He will take us back and he himself will be redeemed. And as Rashi says, he's going to take each one by our hand. V'atem tuluk tili echad echad. So we ask Eibishter, Parshas Nitzavim, why not doing it today?